Another delegation is from Ethiopia, and we are very happy also to have you just to look a little bit about the ongoing dialogue on this is CIGOFA4. So welcome, what's your name and where you come from? Ethiopia, maybe the organization you're working with, or
I am Dr. Zibelo Haile Selassie, and I'm a researcher. I'm a university assistant professor, and I'm a postdoc DAD researcher in Ethiopia. So I did my PhD in land policy and governance, and I'm currently also doing my postdoctoral research fund acquired from NELGA. So I'm researching on land governance, land policy, and related issues.
it's great to hear that. But let's talk about the challenge of land question in Africa. We can say similar when you speak to the young people, maybe in Ethiopia, Ghana, Tanzania, wherever. But what's so special in Ethiopia? Do you think the action should be taken?
The land question is more or less attached with the land laws the country has, the acquisition modalities that the country follows, and the policy that it has. Actually, Ethiopia has not harmonized the national land use policy, but there are embedded policies dichotomized within the urban and rural setting. So the land question is serious. I have explored one case study of one region, and that case study can be inferable even to Tanzania or similar other cases, African states. So the question is the young or the youth, the landless youth actually, the land poor youth is questioning, where is my land? What will be my fate in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years? What will be the intra-generational equity of my land? So these and other related questions are being raised by the youth. And this happens when there is a trade-off in investment. Investments are being acquired by local or foreign multinational corporations or FDIs, and the youth is questioning what will be the fate of or the share or the interest benefit that he or she will acquire from that particular investment. So we need to question about empowerment, an absolute version of empowerment. It's not about employment, but absolute version of empowerment. Empowerment including social, political, legal, economic dimensions. We shouldn't focus about only the economic aspect, the temporary benefit that he or she will get from that particular investment in terms of employment, but it must go beyond. We have to work on human rights-based approach in acquiring land. We shouldn't stick to market-based approach of acquiring land. So we have to see the interest of the youth. What is the interest of the youth? What is the interest of the future generation? When I'm saying youth, the vulnerable youth that he or she couldn't access land. So we have to now broaden the bundle of rights. We have to work more on policy and legal frameworks so that the youth can be enabled to acquire or have a joint investment, shared investments within a given country.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're speaking about the youth, but maybe you can give us a real example in Ethiopia. The young people there are ready to not to take this agenda, but to realize the concerning issues. And second, also the government also how is looking the progress.
In particular in Ethiopia, I've explored in a conflict-affected region, so that the land governance system was full of defects before, but after the conflict, there are fractures. It is not robust land governance system. So the problem is coupled with or aggravated by conflict and conflict-related consequences. So now, during the conflict, land was grabbed, violation of rights has happened, and corrupt land practices has also existed. And these all problems has affected the interest of the youth. And the youth is preferring to migrate to some of is using it as a push factor to migrate into some other countries like the Arabs through the southern or through the eastern corridor from southern Tigray. Yeah.
So there is no land in Ethiopia for the young people.
Land acquisition is like there is no land ownership in Ethiopia, but land holding rights. Land is assumed to be the state's ownership, the state and public's ownership. That's a joint form of ownership. So the youth has not a direct, unless it is through inheritance, there is no any possibility to acquire land, especially in the rural areas. The other one is market approach. In the urban areas, land is acquired through lease and allotment. And allotment is given for for investments or large scale investments in housing and related by government projects or individual consultants or contractors. So in Ethiopia there is a dichotomized land governance system as urban and rural. So the nature of the rights, the nature of rules, the nature of institutions, organizations are different in both rural and urban spheres.
Thanks so much for your time.
I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.